Okay, it's truck update time. We got an intercooler that's in place. We got piping that's going into the intake and out of the turbo. And it looks so majestic right now. And it was incredibly easy. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
How easy was it? It was the easiest part of this whole thing, wasn't it?
No.
No, it was not. It was the... we are not what you call furbiculators. And... yeah, this is like, it took like the most time out of anything.
Once we decided to start cutting stuff, it
yeah, it's crazy how that works. Like, you just like, all right, well, let's just start cutting pipe up and like, we'll just see what happens.
Yeah.
And I made this homemade bead roller guy. That may or may not work with this clamp. And we're going to see if we could crimp some of the stuff that we cut. Also, I got my wastegate vacuum line routed. Here it is. And got my map sensor wired up. I got to put that back on the firewall. And, man, these solder seal things are for the win. Like, that's like, so far, that's like the best stuff I've ever used. Like, I'm like, man.
Better than regular buck connector.
Well, it gets shiny. Like, you heat them up with a heat gun, they get shiny and they melt, and you're like, okay, well,
it works.
You assume that it works, but
We'll find out.
I got my IAT sensor plugged in right here, super solid. Just go to the junkyard. Get I got 2 of them. Get these out of like a Trailblazer or whatever, like any like 90s GM with like a 3/8. You'll see them like right in the intake boot, and you just like pull them right out, cut the connector off, and you take them over to the bench grinder, and you whittle them down a little bit, like probably just take the ridge of them off. And I just did it little by little till it kind of popped in there. Smear it with full silicone, put it in intake, and tap it a couple times with a rubber hammer, and it'll go right in there, and it'll never come out. If that thing comes out of the top of the intake,
You got problems.
there's stuff coming out of the bottom of the engine. So I don't think I'll have to worry about that anytime soon. And what else did we do?
Injectors.
We did the injectors. I got the 80 pounders in, Siemens Deca 80 pounders. I got these chintzy little Phillips head screws with the 1/2-inch nylon bushing underneath that you kind of need to just to space the fuel rail up a little bit. But I did not have a option to get any of the regular bolts because they were out at the hardware store that I was particularly at. So I tried to make these work. We got 3 of them in. The last one's kind of a piece of shit. Like, you gotta bend like 2 brackets together, and it's like the injectors are canted. And when you lengthen the length of the body of the injector, it slides the whole rail over like 2 millimeters or something like that. So you're also fighting that when you do this. So
Now you know why the hoop just like impacts them down.
yeah, he just slams them down with an impact with reckless abandon and doesn't care about it anymore. And it works. And if you got to service it, you just take the whole intake off. Do not do what we did.
No, not worth it.
with the
So
with the
your
intake
pain.
on the engine. Take the intake off and then put your injector rail back on.
We got the pins and the PCM for the fans.
We got the pins in the PCM for my electric fans that I'm pretty sure came out of a Chrysler minivan or something like that. I don't know. It came. These fans literally were on a radiator that was laying on the ground at Pick and Pull.
And you're just like, yoink, mine.
Yeah, I just like took them off and I brought them home and I just eyeballed them and they fit perfectly across the entire fins of the radiator. So
I think I got one of the truck harnesses at home, so.
Walter's gonna be a cool bro and let me borrow one of those, just to use and troubleshoot and all that stuff and figure out what we need to continue running this shit bomb down the highway. I gotta change my plug wires out from the piece of shit MSD wires.
You don't want your misfire wires?
I don't want the misfire wires on it. What's bad is like I mixed them up, so it's like now I don't know which one it is. So it's like I'm gonna have to turn my misfire counter back on to figure out which one it is again, or like Just come out here like a tool with a bottle of water and a spray can and like spray each one of these runners and figure out which one steams and what doesn't. Heat gun. Well, even then you couldn't do it because
for a thermometer.
Even then, yeah, the thermometer. Even then you couldn't do it because it was like a random misfire. Remember, like you'd be in park and they'd be like da 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 da, like it's like the beginning of a metal song.
Coil pack.
A black metal song, Walter.
Coil pack harness. Shout out last podcast on the left. I listened to that one yesterday.
Shout out last podcast on left.
Y'all ain't watching this at all.
No, they have no idea.
They're not. This isn't.
They are the half.
They're not the half. It's just I don't think this is their thing.
But well, we're kind of just stepping back for a second. We're reveling in the fact that we got the cold side done.
We got the downpipe cut.
Took way longer than we thought when you're really dumb like we are. But we got some stuff done. I got to put this back up on the firewall like that. And I was thinking like maybe like, all right, well, I'm going to put my exhaust pipe like, you know, down here and stuff like that. But then I had, like when you got all this real estate, Walter, when you got all this real estate right here, you kind of start thinking like, you know what? I kind of don't give a shit anymore. And you kind of point things out the side like that.
Can I play devil's advocate here?
Devil's avocado?
Yeah, your coolant bottle is going to go right here.
No. It's going to go right here.
Oh, okay. And your heater hoses are going to go this way?
No. They're going to go down on the bottom. They're going to swoop back, and they're going to go in here.
Disregard.
Don't lose that pick.
Yeah,
it's the oldest pick in the existence of time.
And it's seen some shit.
That pick has seen some shit. It's the best one. It's like apparently like the Snap-on picks don't bend.
I mean,
after like 30 years, they bend a little bit. Just a touch. All picks bend.
Just a skosh.
We got left is I got my fans marked up. We got to route the rest of the harness for that. Put my throttle linkage back on. Finish the injector rail bolts. And hook the fuel rail back in. Hopefully we don't start it without remembering to do that. Because like you got like fuel spraying this way. You got like spark trying to go that way.
It'd be the second truck we've set on fire in this.
Second truck we've set on fire in the shop. And yeah, we got to find that relay that fell down here too.
Fuel pump.
Fuel pump. Don't say that.
Don't forget the fuel pump.
Don't tell me to. Don't remind me of the fuel pump.
Okay, leave a stock pump in it.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
I'll win that bet about knocking a piston out this bitch if you do that.
Oh God, and no, dude, it's not gonna be a piston that knocks out because everything's gapped out. It's gonna be a rod that folds or a smash rod bearing. I'm telling you. He's like, no. It's still gonna munch a piston. You're gonna get froggy one day when it's 110 degrees outside, and you're gonna be like, you know what? This guy's Mustang is not that fast. 22 degrees of timing.
Oh, God.
20 pounds of boost.
Such spice.
Such spice. But yeah.
Much broke piston.
Much jealousy right now from the Moot Hoople himself for making the cold side stuff look easy. But we got it done. It's not impossible. Don't be an idiot like us and just start cutting stuff and just cut your shit. It'll get done. And you can see kind of on these headlight brackets like where we had to cut out right there. It's going to sit up here. I drew a line with a Sharpie right there. You could barely see it. That Sharpie got melted by a heat gun and it is gone forever. But the memory of its mark on my core support still remains.
Transcooler, we gotta mount that.
Transcooler, we gotta staple the transcooler to this bracket right here on the back. Then we could do L brackets right here. Then we could bead roll all the pipe that we cut. And we're almost done.
Maybe.
What's the cardboard list look like? The token cardboard.
We have not been updating our list at all. Where's the Sharpie? Let's see, you can strike off cold side and bumper grill lights.
Bumper grill lights.
Kind of a half line.
That's the goal for tonight. Like I just want to get the front end back on the truck.
Oil drain, don't forget that one.
Oil drain is a big one because the oil drain fitting that I had, it was a cheap eBay oil drain fitting, and it had like, what was it, like a C-clip?
It's like a circlip from an axle.
I think I have the piece of it over here. I don't know. Josh probably took it with him or something. I don't know. But anyway, like the fitting, it came apart, and it was a piece of shit from the get-go, and Yeah. So don't buy those, and if you do, buy 2 of them.
We ordered some Summit twist tight shit, but they was closed.
They be closed.
I didn't realize the COVID had them closing at 8 instead of 9 these days. So.
They be closed, but you know, like we keep them clean. I don't know. Well, they be closed. We keep them clean though.
Huh? That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. That's not gonna go in there. We're a little.
That's gonna go in there.
It's gonna go in there, but we're a little dazed and confused right now. We got some stuff going on. We got a few more things left on the turbo truck. Okay, so the homemade bead roller kind of works. What we did is you take a vice grip, a fairly large one, like medium sized, and you weld a big washer right in the middle of it right there. And you get like a 3-inch exhaust clamp or whatever intercooler pipe sizing you're using. If you're going to use couplings like this, if you're not a skilled TIG welder, like
or
we
don't have a TIG welder,
or don't have a TIG welder nor the skill like we are,
like
us,
basically,
and you want to just make some seams in your pipe so they don't blow off when you're doing a cold side setup, you do this. And Walter, what's the secret?
Just squeeze the fuck out of it,
and it'll put a bead in there. By God,
just like that.
Just like that.
Try to keep your clamp fairly level.
But yeah, the YouTubulator homemade bead roller works fairly decent.
Yeah.
We're gonna say
it doesn't completely suck.
Oh my God, we're getting closer. We're getting delirious. We got the transcooler hooked up though. Transcooler's hooked up. It's totally diagonal and the wrong way to do it.
And the whole internet is going to tell us we're stupid.
The whole internet's going to tell us we're dumb for doing it, but it's going to work fine. You know what? And if it doesn't,
no
I won't.
Trans-temp gauge, won't know.
Won't know. That's the key. Is you don't have a trans temp gauge and you don't know.
If you don't have a gauge, you don't have to worry about it.
You don't got a gauge, you got no problems. Just snowmobile the converter for like 5 passes in a row at like $5,000 with 273 gears.
PTC will love you for that one.
Yeah, you put that on the internet. People come up to you like, dude, what are your trans temps? Like, I don't know.
I don't have a gauge. I don't worry about it. That's really the trick to like owning a piece of shit is just don't have gauges. Because if you have gauges, then you worry about stuff.
Don't have gauges. Don't have a care in the world other than minor speed.
I mean, my old LC1 Camaro had a Yank 3600 stall in it.
Uh-huh.
No trans temp gauge. Oil pressure gauge didn't work either. Pretty sure it had like 170,000 miles on it. Not sure what the oil pressure was, but it had it.
It's probably best he didn't know.
Probably. The next car I had less miles and 0 oil pressure, so
Yeah.
also an LT1.
There you go. Right there. That's the secret. Knowing less and getting more. We're calling it a night after this. We're not going to go to the bar.
Cheaper to buy sleeves than it is to buy shots
It's
at the bar.
cheaper to buy sleeves at the liquor store than it is to buy shots at a bar. He'll tell you that right now. Look at that beautiful...
Roll that beautiful bead footage.
Roll that beautiful bead footage right there. We got our own shitty versus pretty going right here.
Definitely
and I think it's going to come out...
shitty.
It's going to come out to something really good. Cue the Herman's Hermits.
Call the tow truck.
Call the tow truck. Get your AAA
membership.
AAA membership ready.
Definitely gonna need it.
Definitely gonna need it. Look at that. Goes in there just like that. We're gonna wrap it around. We're gonna do a lot more stuff that we're not gonna film because we're not gonna do it tonight.
And also, we're not camera pretty.
No.
We're not YouTube pretty.
No, we're like at best, like maybe like radio pretty.
Yeah. you gotta watch this for the view.
No.
2,000 years later.
The gang is almost all here. I got my master fabricator over here.
Get it, that big ass gap.
That's not a bad beat.
Look at that.
Oh yeah, that sucks. That's a pretty good beat. Decent beat right here. Right here's a decent beat. Looks better than Cody's shit.
Hey man.
Grinder down.
I mean, oh, you live? My bad, bro. I mean, dude, have you ever seen a welder like this?
Oh man, this is a beast of a welder. I got my boy Rogelio. About to chop up some barbecue. We got a few things left to do on the truck. We are live on the interwebs right now. We are trying to stream the Freedom 500. I got finished my cold side piping up, my heater hoses, and this thing should be able to fire up and back out of the driveway and maybe do a burnout. We'll see. Hey, come here. Hey, come here. Hey, what y'all know about that mini truck life? You get over here. I mean, this is some straight up custom with a K work right here. This here,
It's got hydros, bro. Look.
it's got hydros on it. This is a Ford 9-inch.
Check out that
This is
Weber.
a French Bulldog.
Check out that Weber carburetor, bro.
Oh, dude. Did we mention the Weber carburetor that we put on this thing? Oh man. Oh, dude. You're letting the top get dirty, dog? How could you do it?
It's been sitting at the house. But listen to the music though. I got a new system in there.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
It's all about the things that count, people. You got the system. You don't need all this storage back here. That's useless. All it's gonna do is get filled up with parts from your truck and leaves. All right, everybody. We're going through here now. We're getting some shit buttoned together. Was it Bubba? What's up, Bubba? Bubba! Bubba!
I gotta find Bubba!
We're getting the cold side buttoned the rest of the way together. We got the wideband oxygen sensor in. We're getting Rogelio in the house. Rojo, pause. Pause.
Scheduled to be in that 01 car.
I just got to my faster.
Got some barbecue going out here. Rojo's is in the house. What we got going on?
Check this out.
Ooh,
Little bit of yard bird,
give a yard bird.
little bit of chick.
We're probably not gonna beat Cletus. It's utter chaos in here right now. We got the Freedom 500 going on.
That's the question.
We're not gonna beat them probably.
More than likely.
I'm gonna go with no.
Still gotta solder all my injector connectors back on for my boosted application.
One to go.
And
White Trash 101.
So we're sitting
Wire
right
nuts.
at about 7 minutes to go
7 minutes to go.
in this 45-minute segment. Then we'll have a 10-minute break. We'll swap
But it's okay,
drivers.
'cause I was
We'll go after
expecting
it
to
again
fail.
for 45 minutes as the Summit Racing.
Isn't that right?
I mean,
Chase
all
Van
likely,
pulls
well,
off
we still
the
have
front
45
two.
minutes after
Let's
that,
see
so
what
we
payroll
still have
is.
time.
Yo, son, that light?
Alex Bowman.
What's up, son? Who are the 5 best rappers of all time? Think about it. Dylan, and Dylan. Because I spit hot fire.
You're gonna see this later and you're gonna be like, oh man, I look stupid.
Man, I'm a retard.
Look at me. I got my creeper.
Yeah, that's a shame. But I don't want to
I thought that was your skateboard.
Hey man, that's a longboard.
It's a long. Another restart. I am.
We kind of have failed, but we did learn something. Now, all these connectors that I have for these Siemens Deca 80 pounders, like I'll pull one out real quick. This is just some like hack job stuff that we threw together. Like we cut the clips off of them just to see if we get the pins in the injector to pulse or do anything. Will take your knife off. But anyway, that's the main holdup that we have right now is the injectors. I needed an adapter harness of some sort. Like I got an EV6 connector on the Siemens Deca 80 pounder, and I have an EV6 truck connector, but the pins are offset in the connector enough to where the factory connector doesn't want to plug in. I don't know if that's like a 1999 specific issue on these Silverados or not, but I'm gonna have to probably walk the yard and look at some truck injector plugs and cut them out. We're watching the the
burning out.
the 24 hours of the mullets. Yeah, we have officially lost now.
Yeah, we have lost.
But the engine, it tries to fire up when you bump the key. It's got like 1 or 2 injectors working, and when you look on the scanner right here, this is the data log from on crank. So first thing I looked at was down here. It's like, okay, well, I have 2 readings for both of my short-term oxygen sensors, so I know I did that right. I'm like, sweet. All right, we got readings off of 1 oxygen sensor for both banks, and right here I looked up my map sensor data. 96 kPa is like 13.9 psi, so that's like just under atmospheric pressure. So we know, like, under cranking load, the engine's pulling a little bit of vacuum, so that number actually makes sense, and that leads me to believe that my map sensor is hooked up correctly. Now I'm kind of still playing with this program a little bit to find a way to read like injector pulse or something like that, but I am almost 100% sure that that's what the issue is. Will's being really freaky right now. Everyone's over at the shop. We're hanging out. We're drinking some beers, and we're just having a good time. We're live streaming right now. If you dropped in on the chat, appreciate you for swinging by and hanging out with us. But I'm gonna soak in the suck bus right now and try to make a game plan on going and getting some injector connector adapters. Isn't that right, Pat?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Has anyone seen this guy on YouTube? He put a Cummins in a Mustang.
Wrong guy, wrong guy.
Crack kills, Ryan.
She said her real name.
All right.
I'm holding it.
Yo!
This one.
What do we got going on out here?
Fuel tank, you know. Put it on a fuel tank.
I'm just wondering why they're not using jack stands.
Well, you know, Juice has got it.
Juice. I got it.
You're a what?
For a little while.
Bring it up.
She pulled her phone out and fucking looked at it and went, that's me. I'm like,
Yeah, you're
oh, cool. I'm standing here looking at your and you're standing right there. Cool.
Wait with the internet, Dave.
Hey.
Give me those back. Brian. Hey, give me those. I shouldn't have said so much about
Hey,
Got some stuff going on over here. Oh man. Oh, we got. Oh. 172. We're almost done. But who won the 24 hours of La Mullets?
Alright, Chris, we're running down there. I have Jamie, who appears to be the unofficial co-driver for the team that won. Brent from Creative Speed and
Jamie, the unofficial co-driver that won.
Burnout Rivals, Brent was the one that
Who?
won the Burnout Edition.
So who?
Jamie, find
What
us
team?
your driver.
What team was it?
Find us your driver. Is that number 74 over there?
Don't get me lying.
Alright,
74.
let's get over
But
there.
He's getting there.
We're gonna get it running. We're almost there. We are 98% there. And tonight, I'm gonna drown and try to find the bottom of that bottle.
Winner results. Can I get a confirmation on the winner results?
And tomorrow, I guess I'm going to the junkyard.
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 Or Summit.
Or some. No.
Come on, Summit.
I hate going to that store, man. Every time I go to that store, they take my money.
Well, you know.
Little motivation. I had to put the front end on just to see the goal, see the finish line. Look at this. Look at all the space you got behind this. I didn't cut the grill at all. GM knew, didn't they?
They knew. All we gotta do is put some nitrous ports in here for the flow.
Now you gotta get some nitrous for off the line when you're on the two-step.
We're doing that too, bro. We gotta ice the intercooler.
But, all right. I gotta keep trying to finish this thing so I could go to work.
Never done.
It's never done.
It's never done.
It's never gonna be done. It's never gonna be done, guys. Never done.